You know how it goes. You hit the gym regularly, eat clean, get your sleep, but still notice muscle loss creeping in year after year. The missing piece? Getting the right protein, in the right form at the right time. That's where today's breakthrough comes in: a simple food that actually has more leucine than eggs and has been proven to activate the powerful mTOR pathway responsible for muscle repair and growth. And no, it's not some supplement powder or trendy health fad. It's real, whole food. By the end of this episode, I promise you'll have a clear, science-backed strategy to maintain your strength, boost your brain function, and stay independent well into your 70s and beyond, all by focusing on food timing and a few small daily habits. No gimmicks, no guesswork, just one powerful shift that could transform the way you age. Understanding the power of protein timing and casein. When you ask most people about high-protein foods, eggs usually come to mind, and for good reason. Eggs are nearly perfect, affordable, nutrient-dense, and packed with high-quality protein. One large egg offers around 6 grams of top-notch protein, full of essential amino acids. But here's the surprise: Cottage cheese actually contains more protein per serving, and it's especially effective at supporting muscle maintenance overnight. To be specific, a half cup of low-fat cottage cheese packs 14 grams of protein, more than double that of 2 eggs, and it's mostly casein, a slow-digesting protein. That slow digestion makes all the difference. While you sleep, your body is essentially fasting for 8 to 10 hours between dinner and breakfast. Without a steady supply of amino acids during that time, your body may start breaking down muscle tissue to meet its needs, especially if you're over 30, when muscle loss tends to accelerate. That's where casein shines. It breaks down slowly, releasing amino acids into your bloodstream for up to 7 hours. Think of it as putting your muscles on an IV drip of recovery fuel overnight, reducing muscle breakdown and promoting muscle protein synthesis. Eggs, on the other hand, digest much faster, which is great post-workout but less ideal for overnight muscle preservation. A 2012 study in Medicine and Science in Sports and Exercise found that participants consuming 40 grams of casein protein before sleep experienced significantly greater muscle protein synthesis overnight compared to those who didn't. Supporting this, more recent research from Nutritional in 2019 confirms that pre-sleep protein intake improves muscle mass and strength gains, particularly in older adults. So, cottage cheese isn't just a snack, it's a timing tool. Eating it 30 to 60 minutes before bed helps switch your body from breaking down muscle to repairing it. Here's the pre-sleep muscle protocol. Enjoy half to 1 cup of low-fat cottage cheese, providing 14 to 28 grams of protein. You can optionally add cinnamon, a handful of walnuts, or a teaspoon of honey to enhance the flavor and add extra nutrients. Consume this 30 to 60 minutes before bedtime, ideally following resistance training or a physically active day. You might be wondering about lactose intolerance. Great question. Many cottage cheese brands are now available lactose-free, and alternatives like casein protein isolate offer similar benefits. The key is consuming slow-digesting, leucine-rich protein that nourishes your muscles throughout the night. Preserving muscle isn't just about how much protein you eat, but also about when and what kind. Cottage cheese isn't popular because it's trendy, or exotic. It works because it syncs with your body's natural rhythms of digestion and muscle protein turnover. Imagine a switch in your body that, when turned on, signals your muscles to grow, repair, and stay strong. That switch is called mTOR, short for mechanistic target of rapamycin. It's one of the most powerful regulators of muscle protein synthesis in your body. However, here's the catch: mTOR isn't always active. In fact, especially as we age, it's often dormant or only slightly active. That's why just eating more protein isn't enough to preserve muscle. To truly activate mTOR, you need to reach a threshold amount of a specific amino acid called leucine. Leucine is a branched-chain amino acid, BCAA, that plays a vital role in signaling muscle cells to start rebuilding. When you consume enough leucine, typically about 2.5 to 3 grams per meal, you flip the mTOR switch and trigger a cascade of muscle-building processes. Without leucine, it's like having all the construction materials but no foreman to oversee the build. So, how does this relate to cottage cheese? Cottage cheese is naturally rich in leucine, especially compared to many plant-based proteins and even some meats. 1 cup of low-fat cottage cheese contains approximately 2.6 grams of leucine, just enough to stimulate muscle protein synthesis in most adults. This makes it a strategic choice, not only for its total protein content, but also for initiating the muscle growth process. A 2006 study published in the Journal of Nutrition found that leucine-rich meals increased muscle protein synthesis by up to 25% more than meals lower in leucine, even when total protein intake was the same. Additionally, a 2011 clinical nutrition trial showed that leucine supplementation improved muscle mass and strength in older adults without changes in their exercise routine. This highlights that quality trumps quantity. A bowl of cottage cheese before bed might benefit your muscle mass more than a larger meal that's lower in leucine. Here's a practical tip. Follow the leucine threshold protocol. Aim for 2.5 to 3 grams of leucine with every meal. This is equivalent to 1 cup of cottage cheese, 5 ounces of chicken breast, or 2.5 scoops of most whey protein powders. Distribute your protein intake evenly over 3 to 4 meals per day. Maintaining muscle mass isn't just about strength. Recent studies reveal strong connections between muscle health and mental resilience through factors such as insulin sensitivity, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, and inflammation regulation. In fact, having low muscle mass is linked to cognitive decline and a higher risk of depression in older adults. So, when you activate mTOR and build muscle, you're not only enhancing your mobility, you're also boosting your mental function and emotional well-being. One more important point: TOR activity naturally decreases with age. That's why older adults often require more protein and leucine per meal compared to younger individuals to achieve the same muscle-building effects. It's not about trying to eat like you're 25. It's about eating strategically to fit your age and biology. Muscle isn't simply made from protein. It's triggered by the right kind of protein, with leucine playing the most crucial role. Many people believe muscle loss happens just from aging or inactivity. But a major cause of sarcopenia is gradual loss of muscle mass with age is poorly timed protein intake. Your body's internal clock, known as the circadian rhythm, regulates not only your sleep and energy levels but also how efficiently your cells respond to nutrients. Muscle protein synthesis, MPS, doesn't happen constantly. It occurs during windows of increased sensitivity, especially after resistance exercise, early in the day, and during sleep. If you miss protein intake during these key times or consume insufficient amounts of the right protein, your body may experience net muscle loss. Most people consume the bulk of their protein at dinner and very little at breakfast. A 2020 review in the Journal of Nutrition found that uneven protein distribution leads to less total muscle protein synthesis over time, compared to spreading protein evenly across 3 to 4 meals daily. Additionally, consuming protein right before bed, particularly slow-digesting proteins like casein, can greatly enhance overnight muscle repair. This is because sleep is a critical period for growth hormone release, tissue regeneration, and memory consolidation. Without amino acids during this time, these vital processes cannot function optimally. A 2015 study in Frontiers in Nutrition showed that pre-sleep protein intake increased overnight MPS by 22% and improved strength gains in older adults after 12 weeks of training. Another study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that individuals who consumed 30 to 40 grams of casein protein before bed gained more lean mass than those who did not, even when total daily protein intake was equal. Here's a simple strategy. Follow the 3 times protein distribution protocol. Eat 20 to 40 grams of protein at each main meal: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Include a pre-sleep protein snack like 1 cup of cottage cheese or a 30-gram casein shake. Time your protein-rich meals to fall within 2 hours after workouts and within 1 hour of waking. If you train in the evening, that bedtime protein snack becomes even more beneficial, aligning perfectly with elevated muscle repair signals and your body's natural recovery rhythms during sleep. Maintaining a balanced protein intake helps reduce blood sugar spikes, supports dopamine production, and keeps your mind sharper for longer. This shift moves us from random eating habits to strategic nutrition, from simply responding to hunger to aligning with our body's natural biology. Because true strength isn't just built in the gym, it's forged in the kitchen and protected during quality sleep. Muscle acts as medicine for the brain. This isn't just a metaphor, it's backed by neuroscience. Skeletal muscle does more than move your body. It's metabolically active tissue that influences everything from blood sugar regulation and hormone balance to brain plasticity. When you engage your muscles through activities like resistance training, walking, or even isometric exercises, your body releases signaling molecules called myokines. Myokines are small proteins released by muscle fibers that travel through your bloodstream and communicate with other organs, including your brain. One of the most potent myokines is irisin, which is released during physical activity and has been shown to stimulate brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF. BDNF is a vital molecule that supports the growth of new neurons and synapses, often referred to as fertilizer for the brain. It plays a key role in learning, memory, and emotional regulation. So when you maintain lean muscle through protein-focused nutrition and regular movement, You're not just building physical strength, you're enhancing mental resilience, clarity, and emotional stability. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism found that lower muscle mass correlated significantly with higher depressive symptoms in older adults, independent of physical activity levels. Another 2022 study in neurology demonstrated that greater muscle mass in midlife predicted a reduced risk of dementia later on, even after adjusting for cardiovascular and lifestyle factors. Muscle also boosts insulin sensitivity, helping to prevent the blood sugar spikes and crashes that cause brain fog, fatigue, and mood swings. Additionally, muscle helps reduce chronic low-grade inflammation known as inflammaging, a key contributor to age-related cognitive decline. Resistance training combined with adequate protein intake, particularly leucine-rich sources like cottage cheese, has been shown to lower inflammatory markers such as CRP and IL-6. To optimize the muscle-brain connection, consume protein-rich meals evenly spaced throughout the day, including a pre-sleep snack. Engage in strength training 2 to 4 times per week, whether using bodyweight exercises or resistance bands. Aim for 7,000 to 10,000 steps daily to stimulate ongoing myokine release. Prioritize quality sleep and hydration, both critical for muscle recovery and cognitive function. Not all proteins are created equal, not only in amino acid composition but also in digestion speed. This matters more than many realize, especially for preserving muscle during fasting periods such as overnight sleep or long workdays. The rate at which amino acids enter your bloodstream can determine whether your body breaks down muscle or repairs it. Fast-digesting proteins like whey and eggs quickly elevate amino acid levels, making them ideal immediately after workouts when muscles need rapid repair. Slow-digesting proteins, such as casein, the main protein found in cottage cheese, release amino acids steadily over 6 to 8 hours, providing a prolonged anabolic effect that's especially beneficial during fasting periods. A pivotal 1997 study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition compared casein with whey protein. It found that whey causes a rapid but brief spike in plasma amino acid levels, whereas casein produces a moderate yet sustained increase, significantly reducing muscle protein breakdown over several hours. During sleep, your body goes 7 to 10 hours without external nutrients. If you don't supply slow-digesting amino acids before bed, your body might break down muscle tissue to meet its needs, especially if your overall daily protein or leucine intake is insufficient. The same risk applies during long days with delayed meals, intermittent fasting, or high stress, which raises cortisol, a hormone that promotes muscle loss. In these situations, slow-digesting proteins serve as a buffer, maintaining a steady supply of amino acids and minimizing muscle breakdown. A smart nutrition strategy for muscle maintenance is to consume fast-digesting proteins like eggs or chicken immediately after workouts or in the morning, while reserving cottage cheese or Greek yogurt for pre-bedtime or during extended fasts. For optimal results, combine slow proteins with a small amount of fat or fiber to further slow digestion and enhance feelings of fullness. For example, if you finish dinner at 7 p.m. and don't eat again until 9 a.m., you're undergoing a 14-hour fast. Even if your daytime protein intake is solid, your muscles remain vulnerable overnight unless you've provided slow-digesting amino acids in the evening. That's why consuming something like a cup of cottage cheese or a 30-gram casein shake before sleep is a scientifically supported and powerful strategy. From our 30s onward, we gradually lose muscle at a rate of roughly 3 to 8% per decade, accelerating after age 60. This process, called sarcopenia, isn't just about appearance. It's linked to diminished strength, higher injury risk, reduced metabolic health, and even cognitive decline. But here's the empowering truth. You can reverse this trend not with extreme exercise routines or fads, but through a precise, biology-based daily protocol. The daily strength protocol includes protein timing with 3 to 4 feedings per day, each containing 30 to 40 grams of protein, spread evenly across meals. Focus on complete proteins rich in leucine such as eggs, poultry, fish, cottage cheese, Greek yogurt, or whey. Incorporate a slow-digesting protein like 1 cup of cottage cheese or 30 grams of casein 30 to 60 minutes before bed. Aim for leucine-completed meals by ensuring each contains at least 2.5 to 3 grams of leucine, for instance, 5 ounces of chicken breast, 1 cup of low-fat cottage cheese, or 2.5 scoops of whey protein. Include resistance training 3 to 4 times weekly, using weights, resistance bands, or bodyweight exercises. Emphasize compound movements and train to near fatigue, prioritizing consistency over intensity. For daily movement, aim to walk 7,000 to 10,000 steps or get 30 minutes of light activity. Optionally, add brief bursts of intensity like stair climbs or hill walking. To optimize your sleep, aim for 7 to 9 hours each night. Start winding down about an hour before bed by reducing light exposure. If you struggle with falling asleep, consider trying magnesium glycinate supplements or breathing exercises. Keep your wake and sleep times consistent. Avoid things that sabotage your muscle health. Limit ultra-processed foods, alcohol, and long periods of inactivity. And if your goal is to preserve muscle, don't rely too heavily on cardio alone. Balance is essential. Managing chronic stress is also important. This protocol isn't about being perfect. It's about aligning your habits with your biology. You don't need to obsess over macros or train like a professional athlete, but you do need to provide your body with the signals and nutrients required to build and maintain the engine of your independence, your muscle. Muscle is what helps you stand up from a chair. It stabilizes your joints, regulates your energy, sharpens your brain, and protects your well-being as you age. You don't lose muscle simply because you grow older. You lose it because you stop giving your body a reason and the resources to keep it. Now, you have the tools to change that. We started this journey with a simple fact. There's a food with more protein than eggs that can help combat muscle loss quickly. But we uncovered something deeper along the way. This isn't just about protein, it's about preserving your ability to live fully, move freely, and think clearly as you age. Let's quickly recap the science-backed takeaways. Cottage cheese isn't just a snack, it's a powerful tool. With more protein than eggs and loaded with slow-digesting casein, it's perfectly designed to nourish your muscles overnight. Muscle growth isn't random, it's triggered by leucine activating the mTOR pathway. If you don't reach the leucine threshold in each meal, your muscle repair system remains inactive. Timing matters. Your body responds best when protein intake is spaced throughout the day. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button, it really supports the channel. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss new videos. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so leave a comment below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.